Well, content creator Tori Puras has amassed tens of thousands of fans and followers on social media for her beauty and hairstyle posts. But she's also a two-time breast cancer survivor who's hoping her platform can help others going through similar journeys to hers.
And Tori Puras joins us live now on CP24 Breakfast to talk about her journey and how more young women can advocate for their health. Tori, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Your story is one of resilience, but also I'm guessing it must have been terrifying for you at the age of 25 to learn that you'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. What went through your mind in that moment, and what's your advice to someone who is going through something similar?
I mean, growing up, like in my teen years, I always had very lumpy breasts, a lot of cysts and fibroadenomas. So I was monitored since I was 15, which is awesome. I know a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So I feel like the stress and the anxiety of everything kind of happened over the course of a good 10 years of this potentially happening. And then by the time I was 25, when I got my first diagnosis, it was scary and I was in a lot of doubt and I didn't want a lot of attention on me. I didn't want to call myself a survivor, anything like that. It probably wasn't until the second diagnosis when I was 30 that I started taking things a little bit more seriously, mentally, preparing myself, and I'm still kind of going through that process of how to deal with it and how to manage everything. I don't think there's a right way, and I don't know. I don't have the best advice on how to handle that situation because everybody's just so unique. But the one thing that I could say is really, really, really push for yourself and for your health, and especially as females, I feel like, and breast cancer, there's this stigma of, this is a cancer for menopausal women or middle-aged women, and it just gets brushed off. You're 25, it's got to be another fibroadenoma, you've had 20 of them. It's one of those things you really got to push for yourself, and nobody knows your body other than yourself. The doctors don't. So really push, and if you feel like something's off, just ask for an ultrasound, ask for imaging, just to give yourself the clarity and the reassurance.
How difficult is that, though, Tori? Because, we've kind of been conditioned, that, yes, it's something that older women get, menopausal, et cetera. And, the age rate for, even having a breast exam has come down, but only really through really a ton of pressure, it would seem. And, when you're pushing back against, someone with a stethoscope and a clipboard around, there's that intimidation factor. It can't be easy.
It's terrifying. And I think that's something that needs to change. It's frustrating. I'm still frustrated about it. And I think right now, is it 40 the age range for a woman to get mammograph?
Got lowered to 40.
It should be lower. Let's put it at 30. And I know 10 years ago, I think the percentage of women with breast cancer in their 20s was at 5%. Now that number is climbing higher and higher and higher, and that should just be a wake-up call for the system. Let's do something about it. Let's figure this out. The more that we could do something about it now and take preventative measures, we could save lives. So.
And I think that's what you're doing by spreading the message and sharing your story, which has also been featured in this month's fashion magazine. We have it here with us. And in it, you really give women the tools for when women are entitled and should ask for screenings. We know that with pap smears, I went and got one, I think 2 weeks ago, full disclosure, and it's now changed that you can get one and you don't have to get it checked until another 5 years or so. But it should be done on the regular. And in terms of those mammograms, like you said, women are getting it younger and younger, so that age range should be lowered as well.
Absolutely. The good thing too about your yearly appointments, you can ask for them to be pushed up if you're concerned. That's how I found my first diagnosis. I wasn't sure. I felt off, and I was getting my tests done every year at that point, and it was 6 months before my yearly appointment, and I said, no, let's do it. And they're fine with it. You just have to push. You just have to ask. You don't know what they're going to say.
And Tori, you obviously have a pretty big social media following, and you're posting about this on your socials. Are you getting responses, and are you hearing stories from other younger women about cases just like this?
Yes. It's very sad because I didn't realize how many people are affected by breast cancer, especially younger women. People I went to high school with, I have a friend that his wife died at the age of 30. Like, it's just, you hear more and more of these stories, and I think we're all just a little quiet about it, a little hush-hush, and that's okay, like, to each their own, but it's out there and it's everywhere, and it's actually terrifying.
Very quickly, we have to end, but I wish we could talk to you longer, Tori. You're in the process of kind of finishing up your double mastectomy, and you said to yourself that this was something that was very daunting to imagine, that you're losing a big part of your femininity. How do you cope with kind of the mental stress of dealing with also the physical kind of hill that you have to climb through this process?
Yeah, that was harder than I expected, for sure. It's still something mentally I'm dealing with. There's no prep that anybody can give you before you get your double mastectomy or hysterectomy, even when you're dealing with like your femininity like that. It's absolutely terrifying, and I don't want to scare people straight, but it's like, I hope nobody has to go through it.
Of course.
And there's no prep or there's no advice I can give anybody before you're going through that. So.
Well, listen, Tori, thank you for sharing your story today. I think that really helps people sort of keep the conversation going. So thanks for doing this. Glad to see you're doing so well as well. And good luck to you. Appreciate this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tori.